Okay, let's just dive right in. Have you ever felt like your mind is a light that you just can't switch off? Well, today, we're exploring the psychology of being what some might call too aware. That state of mind that sees everything, feels everything, and analyzes everything, a lot of the time to the point of pure exhaustion.
This quote from our source material it captures the feeling perfectly. This isn't some gentle, guiding light we're talking about. No, it's more like a harsh, constant floodlight that exposes every little detail, every unspoken word, every tiny shift in a room. It leaves absolutely no space for rest or even just the simple comfort of not knowing.
So, what does it actually feel like to live under this constant light? Well, it's a pretty unique way of perceiving the world, and it completely changes how you interact with everything and everyone, including yourself.
And here's the key thing to understand. This isn't a choice. It's like your nervous system is hardwired to scan, to read, and to interpret everything around you. You feel the tension in a room long before anyone even says a word. You sense what's unspoken before the thoughts are even fully formed. You're not trying to overthink. Your mind just literally doesn't know how to stop looking.
And this right here really gets to the heart of the paradox. From the outside, it might look like a superpower, like you have some kind of deep intelligence. But from the inside, it often just feels like you can't find the off switch. It's a state of high alert that completely forgot how to find peace.
But here's the thing. This constant awareness isn't just pointed outward. It's also turned inward, creating this sort of internal surveillance system. And this brings us to a really fascinating concept, metacognition.
Look, metacognition is something we all do, right? But for the hyper-aware mind, it's a constant background process. You don't just have thoughts and feelings. You are perpetually observing and analyzing them as they're happening. So this creates this powerful, almost automatic loop. Let's say you feel a pang of sadness. You don't just feel it. Oh no. Your mind immediately kicks in, why am I sad? Is this a justified reaction? Is this old sadness or is it about right now? By the time the feeling has a chance to just be, you've already dissected it from every possible angle.
This metaphor just sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? This self-monitoring, it creates distance. You're so busy observing yourself being happy or sad or excited that you're rarely ever fully inside the experience. You kind of become half participant and half narrator of your own life.
Okay, now let's talk about how this awareness plays out with other people. Because for the deeply aware person, empathy isn't just a skill, it's a constant and honestly often a very heavy state of being.
It's so much more than just understanding what someone feels. It's more like absorption. A friend's unspoken sadness follows you home. The tension in a meeting leaves your own chest feeling tight. The emotions of other people don't just stop at your awareness, they actually seep in.
And this, of course, comes at a cost. You become the one who smooths things over, the one who manages the emotional temperature of any room you're in. This looks like strength from the outside, but it is deeply exhausting. You're basically carrying the weight of more than one nervous system at a time.
This brings us to a really crucial turning point. What if this intense awareness isn't a character flaw? What if it's actually an incredible skill that you had to develop just to survive?
So, the big question is, where does it come from? This level of hypervigilance and perception doesn't just appear out of thin air, right? It has a history. It has a story of adaptation.
For a lot of people, this whole trait started in childhood, especially in environments where emotions were unpredictable or even unsafe. As a kid, you might have learned that your safety depended on reading really subtle cues, a shift in someone's tone, a parent's mood. Your nervous system learned to scan, predict, and prepare. It learned that paying extremely close attention was necessary.
This reframe it's incredibly powerful. Instead of seeing yourself as a flawed overthinker, you can start to see this as the work of a highly intelligent nervous system. Your sensitivity wasn't born from fragility, it was forged in adaptation. And that simple shift, it allows compassion to enter a space where criticism used to live.
So, understanding the origin is powerful for sure, but where do you go from there? The final part of this explainer is all about the path forward, and it's not about shutting down your awareness, but about learning how to live with it a bit more gently. And the key here is that the solution is not to become less aware. It's to develop what the source calls selective perception. It's about learning to notice a feeling or a shift in the room without feeling like you have to absorb it or analyze it or, and this is the big one, fix it.
These truths, they're like anchors. They help you create boundaries for your own awareness. Not every silence is a sign of disapproval. Sometimes people are just tired. Not every emotion needs to be solved. Sometimes it can just be a passing cloud. This isn't about becoming indifferent. It's about restoring balance.
And that brings us to the core takeaway. The goal isn't to dim that powerful light of awareness you have, is to learn to stop picking up and carrying everything that it illuminates, because by carrying less, you reclaim your presence. And that's when awareness can finally transform from a burden into the quiet, wise companion it was always meant to be.